I'm here to remind you at a time when old societal structures are crumbling and all the ways that used to be are on the wane, that you have everything within you to help you heal and rise into the next chapter of your life. And I say this as I've been reflecting a lot over the last week about the stuff that's been coming out in the files, about the so-called spiritual teachers that Deepak Chopra, who's appeared thousands of times within the files. This isn't to say he's done or hasn't done anything. All I'm privy to is what I've seen, and I don't profess to be an expert on it, but I've seen some of the content that has come. And he's someone whose name has come up over the years in the spiritual circles as this great leader. And I think it's so easy for us to pedestalize people and to look outside at these spiritual influencers and people who seem to have it all together and who've been elevated into these positions of authority, when actually, you know, if we want to look in the cupboards in their house, they're full of filth and cobwebs and dirt. But so many of us project an aspect of ourselves onto them. But I'm just here to remind you that you have everything that it takes. And we have really seen throughout our time, I'm thinking about, like, not just in the spiritual world and the personal development and healing realms, but in terms of superstardom, the supermodel, the pop star, the movie star, people who have been put into these positions of power, authority and privilege, and us mere mortals are at the bottom. Oh, we bow to thee, we bow to thee. And I've always kind of struggled with that. Like, I'm the sort of person that when I used to work in the city for the bank, I'm the sort of person that will speak to the man who's cleaning the toilets the same way I'll speak to the CEO. I don't go by what someone tells me that your title is. I go by how you approach me. How do you treat other people? Let's meet each other as human beings. I'm a bit sick and tired of all these labels. And this is something that I've had to confront on my own terms as well lately in bringing this book out. I'm not trying to come out and be like, oh, I'm some pedestalized teacher that is here to give you my wisdom because I'm at the top of this pyramid and I'm almighty. No, I'm just a woman. I'm just a mum from a working class background who's been under-resourced, who's experienced trauma, who's been through pain, who at times has been too afraid and in the depths of her anxiety to even leave the house. I know what it's like to walk through trauma, and I've had the great privilege of sustaining a spinal cord injury, which has given me a very long time to sit and to consolidate all the wisdom that I've gained throughout my life so that I can bring it together to help you. Because that's all I care about, is helping others to remember their own power. So I'm having to meet myself within this. And it's also been quite validating, actually, at how I've resisted a lot of people within this community. And I think we put far too much emphasis on social media followings, and it's so easy to like dismiss someone who doesn't have a lot of followers. Like, someone might come to my page and be like, oh, she's only got 2,000 followers. What does she know? Actually, she knows quite a lot. She's lived quite the life and she's had quite the life experience. And me aside, I know many people of great wisdom and integrity, more to the point, who don't have the big followers, who aren't comfortable on social media giving it the whole showpiece. Like, for me, my healing journey has been dark, it's been gritty, it's been ugly, there's been a lot of tears, and it's pretty much all happened in this house. Well, at least since I've lived here. It's not aesthetic. I'm not running through fields of barley wearing whimsical robes in the sunlight, you know. That's just not the reality of it. There's not much to share. And because I'm someone that values integrity greatly, I haven't wanted to rush this process. I haven't wanted to be like, oh, I know this or I know that. I've taken a long time to do my due diligence with the work that I'm doing, to make sure that what I'm sharing comes from a place of not only just talking about it, because it's very easy to talk about it, but to have lived it, to embody it, to be about that energetically, not just, it's so easy to show up on social media with a small ounce of what you've learned, to then try and project yourself as some authority. But when you're dealing with people who have been through challenges and trauma, the way I see it is we have a great responsibility to those people, and you want to know what you're talking about, and you want to make sure that that you're not just out there trying to, from an ego level, trying to position yourself to be some authority when you haven't really done the work that it takes. Like for me, it's been a combination of my own lived experience, actually going through it, living it, experiencing it, embodying it. And to back it up, I went to study counselling at Birkbeck University of London to get a qualification in counselling. And actually, that wasn't about me trying to be all like, with some big grand career path. That was me being resourceful, because at the time I couldn't afford therapy and I was in great need of therapy. So I was like, you know what, let me go and study counselling, and I can get a student loan. And I told you, it's very resourceful. Get a student loan, go and dedicate a few years of study, and then I can heal my own mind, and anything else that comes off the back of that is a bonus. So I didn't go on to be a counsellor, but what I learned in those years at Birkbeck helped me to transform my own life. So that was one layer of it. And then it's like, okay, so this is the mind aspect. What about the lived experience? So I am very much living the life that I say I'm living. I'm not speaking from some elevated pulpit of privilege. I'm in the trenches. I'm not trying to pretend to be anything different. And people might look and be like, oh, she's not floating about on a yacht in the Mediterranean. What sort of a life is she manifesting? I'll tell you what life I'm manifesting. Inner peace and resilience. Life can throw its curveballs at me, and I've learned how to flow with it. And this is another thing. So much of what we see online is this love and this light, and we seem to gloss over the shadows. Or if someone dares to speak about challenges or the shadow or injustice, then it's this whole thing of, negativity. It's not negativity. It's real. And I think we're doing ourselves a huge disservice if we don't acknowledge the fact that not every day is sunshine and roses. Not every day are we dancing on top of a rainbow with the Care Bears shining love from our hearts. Sometimes we're sitting in those dark shadows. Sometimes we've got mascara stains down our faces and we're eating ring donuts to try and smother our pain. That's the reality of it. But that's not always aesthetic, and people don't always want to acknowledge that that's part of the journey. But it's in sitting in those shadows and acknowledging those shadows and saying, yeah, I have bad days too, that it helps other people to realise that what they're going through is very normal. And in life, all of it is a balance. It's not about being in one state all the time. If we're truly living this human life, we'll be fluctuating, but it's about how we can become resilient within that. And that's what doing the inner work does. When you have the courage to look at your shadows and to not stuff them at the back and try and act like, like there's nothing to see here, while you're shoving, all this trauma and challenge and low self-worth and value and all of that behind you, and you're trying to come out and act like everything's all right to the world when it's not. It's not sustainable. So what I like to share is a real sustainable model of healing for your average person, so that we can navigate the waves with a little bit more ease, so we know when to surrender, we know when to examine, we know when to explore. Because, I'm tired of what has been. I'm tired of this celebrity status, of pedestalization of individuals that preach down to the mountaintops. And one of my biggest motivating factors actually to write this book was the fact that I didn't feel like people like myself were truly represented. And when I say people like me, I'm speaking about people with disabilities, I'm speaking about working class people, under-resourced people, black mixed race people, people of colour, people from diverse backgrounds, when it's not all just, this certain class of person that we see pedestalized out there. Because what I'm here to say is that healing is for you too. You don't have to have this big bank balance. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to be a size 6 or whatever. Like, healing is for you, whatever you look like, whatever background you come from. And if you want it to be sustainable, it's not always going to be love and light. So yeah, in the light of some of these old systems crumbling and all these some light being put onto these shadowy, egoic kind of presentations of what it means to be a teacher or a spiritual leader or whatever. It's like, let us see it for what it is. And it doesn't mean that people shouldn't have platforms. It doesn't mean that people shouldn't be successful and elevate. I mean, who doesn't want to have some degree of success? But what is success for you? It doesn't always look the same way as one person as it does for another. For me, when I was in my darkest times, all I could ever wish for was a sense of inner peace. And I might not be a millionaire, but I feel like I've won the lottery, because now I have that inner peace. I know that I can wake up, whatever happens, whatever comes my way, I'll deal with it. I'll mine it for the lessons, for the gold. It's about that inner world alchemy. It's about taking what you've been through and using it to make sure that tomorrow is a better day, and it doesn't need to be any more than that. So yeah, this is just about us taking off some of the pressure, acknowledging that the world that we, as we know it, is crumbling, and the new world is yet to emerge. So we're in this in-betweeny place. And what I want you to remember is that you are powerful, you are worthy, you are enough just as you are. You don't need pedestalized teachers. You just need to remember the light that lives within you. Excuse me. And in that, you'll be able to weather any storm that's going to come our way, because it's a mad old world out there. So one thing that you do need to do is to have that sense of, worthiness, like, yeah, I'm enough. I don't need any outside resources. I don't need 10 grand programs. And again, no shade, whatever floats your boat. And I'm not saying people aren't worth that, but like I said before, this is to the people that cannot access that level of offering. This is for the people that are struggling with where they're at. This is for the people that want an everyday person's way forward. And I'm just hoping that is what I can bring. I'm still figuring out the best way to share this message. I'm not, I don't know, part of me is like, oh, it should be more organised and edited, but that's not me. I show up how I feel. I share what's on my heart and what's on my mind, and I hope and trust that it will resonate. And I'm just hoping that in coming out as my authentic self, for better and for worse, for high and for low, for the good days and the bad days, that I'll connect to the people who are just like me, normal people navigating life that are looking for a way forward. So at the moment, if the world is feeling heavy, and you're seeing these people that you've respected at periods of time, and you're questioning everything, and it all feels a little bit uncertain and a bit unstable, I just want you to come back to your power. And you can do that by just closing your eyes if it feels comfortable to do so. And just letting everything just start to calm down. In these uncertain times, there's not much that you can control other than yourself and how you respond. And I'm just acknowledging that that's not always easy to do. Sometimes we have to reprogram ourselves, recondition ourselves, start building up small daily habits that will help us to anchor ourselves, step into our power, reconnect to our heart, and find new ways of being that are supportive for us. So just taking a breath, remembering that you are the light, that you are powerful in a world that feels so out of control. It might be helpful for you to just imagine what it's like for roots to be growing out of your feet or from the base of your spine. anchoring yourself down into Mother Earth, just to bring that sense of stability and grounding and nourishment from the deep, rich soils of the earth. And imagine that energy coming up from Mother Earth, up your spine, flowing through your body, up out the top of your head, and taking a few breaths in to bring that energy up through your body. And then in taking another breath, this time we are going to be imagining the energy coming down from the great source of light, down through our crown, breathing it in. And as you're breathing in, imagine it going all the way down through your body, that bright divine light just bringing a sense of soothing, bringing a sense of the true expansive nature of the light of the particles that live within you, helping to dissolve some of that density and the heaviness that lives within us at the moment from this very 3D world that we're trying to make our way through. And bringing that light all the way through your body, down through your spine, out through the soles of your feet. So at the moment, you're just allowing yourself to act as an antenna, transmitting earth energy to the sky and sky energy to the earth, and bringing yourself into this sense of harmonization and balance. And if you put one hand on your heart, if it's comfortable for you to do so, and then another hand, or just bringing your awareness into your heart energy, and take a breath in that energy to help both of those sets of energy from the earth and from the skies to come into harmony within your heart. And just notice how everything just starts to settle and starts to calm. And just let that be a little reminder to you that you don't have to sit in the noise of the world. You can come out of all of this scrolling and this consumption of media and this real intense, heavy stuff, and just come back to yourself, back to your energy, back to your heart, back to Mother Earth, back to the source of light that created everything. And remember, you're a powerful being. And as the storms rage on around us, there's the little things that we can do within our days to bring a sense of calm within. So sending big love to you. My book's out for pre-order. It's officially available for pre-order. So if anything in this message resonated and you'd like to go deeper into this work, this grounded but spiritual framework, 3-stage framework to help you to heal your past, connect to that energy, and really go out and connect to your potential as the storms of life rage on around us, then check out Activate Your Light. I will link it in the description box. And yeah, let's do this together. Let's heal, let's rise, let's elevate, let's come together, let's create community. If you made it to the end of this video, give me a signal in the comments. I'm really keen to start growing a community. Just people that we can acknowledge and we can be like, how are you doing today? Let's check in. Give me a name, a location. I know you're out there. So sending big love and peace to you, and I'll catch you next week.